Hey everybody, Pat here. I'm super excited for this video because I've got an amazing resource for you to use for your cold email copywriting and to make it super easy for you. So recently I released a training showing everybody a new framework called the hook, line, and sinker. So I did a training showing people how to actually use it. And I got some positive feedback after I sent a newsletter out. So I sent a newsletter out and gave the framework in the newsletter. But I was just teaching people how to use the framework. And so what I decided to do is to build a custom GPT with that framework and then publish that in the ChatGPT App Store for you to use. So I want to show you how to use it in this video, but the link is in the description for you to use this GPT in the App Store. Now, it's a new GPT, so it's not going to be 100% perfect. And like any ChatGPT copy, sometimes it can give kind of surface level results, but it's a good starting point. And it will use my concept, the hook, line, and sinker, with good best practice cold email copy. So in the background, I've got this thing trained on framework and then giving it examples and step-by-step process. So I just want to walk through some examples here, and then I want you to actually use this GPT and give me feedback in the comments down below. So to get started with this thing, all you got to do is click this button, create persona-based cold email sequence. It's going to write the first email in it. So to get started, all you need to do is enter a URL. So I'm going to just enter upticks.io. I'll do a couple examples in this video. One, upticks. I'll do a random example after this. And so the first thing it's going to do after you give it the website is it's going to give you a summary. And we've got it broken down to give kind of a definition and focus, challenges, decision makers and influencers, success factors, negative indicators, some case studies, industries, and personas, and then any other additional observations. Then it's going to ask you which persona you want to write a cold email for. So I'm just going to give it I'm going to say, I want to target companies with 5 to 10 employees and 2+ sales reps, and I have a typo, so I'll just hit enter here. Oh, I forgot to give it an angle. So I missed this. I should have given it an angle there. Sometimes it asks you for an angle, and sometimes it doesn't. So let's see what happens after it gives an angle. So the next thing it's going to do is it's going to research and then identify problems that these prospects could be facing, the consequences of those problems, and then the desires they have. So 3 problems: limited sales outreach, low email deliverability, time-consuming manual processes. Consequences are missed revenue opportunities, poor email performance, reduced productivity. Desires are efficient sales automation, improved email engagement, scalable outreach. It was supposed to stop after this. I don't know why these GPTs don't follow instructions exactly, but it was supposed to stop after this and ask if this sounds right. But you could always just say, hey, the desires, problems, consequences didn't sound quite right. Let's tweak this. So it went ahead and wrote the email. So subject line, outreach issues. So it's going to keep a short subject line. We do that purposefully and intentionally, and we want it to mean something to the prospect. So, hi, first name, curious if your sales team is losing deals due to limited outreach. After working with 3,000+ businesses, we found the biggest challenge we were facing was reaching enough prospects to fill their pipeline effectively. At Upticks, we help small teams like yours increase outreach efficiency by automating email campaigns and ensuring high deliverability. We can improve your email engagement by 2 to 3x within 60 days, or we'll work for free until we do. It kind of made this up. So what I'm trying to have it do is come up with good lead magnets and better offers for people, because people really struggle with that. What it's having a hard time doing here is it's supposed to only write one sentence. So if you take this, just know I don't really like the second sentence. It's better to kind of blend this all into one, but these are kind of minute details. Would you like to see how our software can help your team scale outreach without adding headcount? It's also not supposed to put this. Anyway, GPT's got a mind of its own. So I have all these instructions in place, doesn't always follow it. And this is where I'd love your feedback. But some of these are just kind of minute things. You can just copy this, put it into a doc, you can tweak it, you can edit it. The idea here is that it followed my framework. Wrote another variation. Again, it was supposed to stop and ask how this was. Again, I don't know why it's not following that, but it is what it is. All right. So it wrote 2 variations without asking. Whoopsies, right? Shouldn't really have gone into a pitch here. So the hook is a question, an opening question. The line is to agitate with based on this, right? And this is kind of surface level. So I don't really love this output. So I'll keep tweaking this GPT. But again, love your feedback, so comment below. We've helped companies like yours reduce time spent on manual processes by 50%, enabling their sales reps or their reps to increase productivity and close more sales. Interested in seeing how this could work for your team. Not awful, but I mean, I would take this and tweak it for sure. So I mean, it did a pretty good job. At least I mean, it's following the framework. And it's helping you with a bunch of the research, right? Problems, consequences, desires. You could even stop and say, I really want to focus on this specific problem. So you could start interacting with it from here. I don't love the number 2 and number 3 variations. You didn't follow the framework, but let's focus on this problem specifically. And let's just see what happens. It's going to write another variation, I would think. Outreach issues. I'm curious if sales team is struggling to reach enough prospects efficiently. After working with 3,000 plus businesses, we found the biggest challenge small teams face is the inability to scale their outreach efforts without overwhelming their resources. At Upticks, we specialize in automating your outreach process, allowing you to reach more prospects efficiently and effectively. Our clients have seen a 2 to 3x increase in their outreach capabilities within the 60 days, or will work for free until they do. So it kind of made this up a little bit. So you'll want to tweak this if it just makes up an offer. Would you be interested in seeing how Upticks can help your team scale without increasing headcount? So that one was, but so that there's just an example. You can interact with this thing. You can give it instructions, so you can really instruct it. But it's going to do that research for you. It's going to identify, your business with the website and all that kind of stuff. Let's do a totally random example. So let me just start a new chat here. I've never done this one before, but I'm just going to put in Clickfunnels, see what happens. Now Clickfunnels has, a lot of information about it on the internet, of course, so that's certainly helpful. Your company might not. So it's important, obviously, you put in your company here. So it's going to map out, the definition and industry focus, challenges and pain points, decision makers and influencers, success factors, negative indicators, case studies and examples, and then the industries and personas. So then it's asking, could you please specify the persona you're writing cold email sequence for? If the answer is vague, please provide an angle or specific challenge you'd like to address with the prospect. So let's target small digital marketing agencies who are using WordPress to build funnels and lead magnets. Let's see what happens. So first it's going to identify the problems here: integration complexity, limited analytics, maintenance overhead, consequences, lost efficiency, missed opportunities, increased costs, desires, seamless integration, comprehensive analytics, reduce maintenance, confirm problems. So this time it actually asked to confirm. I'm just going to say sounds good. Then let's see what comes out of this. So line 1, the hook. Curious if your team is struggling with WordPress integrations for your lead magnets. Asking because after working with hundreds of agencies, the biggest clients, ClickFunnels probably work with thousands, tens of thousands, right? The biggest challenge they faced was the complexity of managing multiple plugins to build effective sales funnels. We will streamline your funnel creation process by providing an all-in-one solution that integrates seamlessly, reducing setup time by up to 50%. Would you be interested in seeing how our platform can simplify your workflows and enhance your lead generation? That's a pretty good email, I think. I don't like that it added this. It's not supposed to, but it did. Whatever, you can copy it. You can just edit it, of course. So it's keeping the subject lines super short. This is the wrong subject line, so be mindful of that. So this was an example that I gave it. So for some reason, it goofed that up. Like this one was pretty good, but if you see it's starting to kind of get generic, really hone in on like the more specifics, like, more guarantees, more like factual types things. So, I like that it added the 50% in here. And in here, like it talked about WordPress integrations, right? And actually inputted the lead magnets, where is here is a little more generic and just talking about the analytics. Didn't love that portion of it. But if you wanted to say focus on these specific problem, right? So if it stops and says, hey, does this accurately reflect? You could say, yeah, but I really want to focus on this and this. And you could just say, I want to write a new version that is based on this problem and consequence. And I don't care if I have typos. So let's see what happens. Integration issues. Are your WordPress plugins causing more problems than they solve? Asking us after working with many digital marketing agencies. Calling out the audience here. The biggest challenge I faced was the complexity and time consumption of integrating multiple plugins to create effective sales funnels. We offer an all-in-one platform that eliminates the need for multiple plugins, streamlining your funnel creation process and reducing setup errors. Would you be interested in a demo to see how, so on and so forth? This could be a little bit stronger, but again, I mean, we have a good amount of copy here that we can use. And the best part is I see a lot of people not really testing a lot of different angles. So by getting multiple angles, you can test multiple angles at one time and try to find what is going to resonate more with your audience. So the more angles we can test, the better. More statistically significant, and then you can double down on the winners and ditch your losers. So the link for this is down below in the description. Hope you get some value out of it. Love your feedback. Again, post down below in the comments, and I'll try to make some updates and some tweaks to this thing. But at any event, I just want you to have a resource that's going to help you write emails, share it with your friends, pass it along. And of course, I'll keep improving this with more and more feedback. So if you got some value out of this video, give me a like, share it, comment down below, and I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. And if you really love this and you're in the need for an outbound software, I'd love for you to check out Upticks, my software at upticks.io. In any event, I hope you got some value from this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.